Greetings, folks. Welcome to G4G on YouTube. I am your host, Napalm Dawn. And thank you for checking out this video. I'd like to thank you ahead of time for watching it, because it's going to get interesting. The first thing we need to do is talk about Destructoid's article that data mining has encountered some more stuff going on. So we know about Black Panther and War Machine, and we know that Kate Bishop and Clint Barton are coming early in 2021. Kate maybe will make it in 2020. Who knows? The next-gen console stuff isn't making it in 2020, which is going to screw up the holidays for people. Spider-Man, the ridiculous PlayStation exclusive. Who knows when he'll drop? But the data miners have come into some information that they're seeing some phrases and levels and missions. Things like the Crystal of Catavis, which is a skull in Doc Strange lore. Drop near Tactigon, and the Tactigon is a device when equipped on people, helps them know an enemy's weakness. It becomes a perfect weapon to defeat a given enemy. It was used on Violet Lightner, and then it switched over to KIA, a clone of MVP. Interesting thing there. I wonder how they'll set something like that up in the game. And then the Norn Stones of Protection, Alliance, Attunement, and the Fanatic. Of course, none of this is official. It could be content left on the cutting room floor that was maybe never meant to be shown. Given the situation this game is, some of the stuff that's been data mined could have been cut. So yeah, that's a little bit interesting. That's one of the more positive things that we need to talk about in this video. The rest, not going to be as positive. So this article, back from about a week ago, over on thegamer.com, this author, Eric Switzer, believes that the game is nearing its death throes over here. He thinks Marvel's Avengers is on the second to last phase before shutting down for good, with the final phase being free to play. The first phase is releasing a busted product. Yeah, well, they've done that. This is an Anthem product. Crashes, game-breaking bugs, soft locks, you name it. The first major patch fixed over 1,000 bugs, but it still didn't fix everything. Yeah, I can attest to that. More on that in a moment. To think that a major patch fixes over 1,000 bugs for a game that you delayed the release of from the spring. Yeah, I know we're dealing with the itis, but give me a break. For PS4 players, thanks to the Spider-Man exclusivity, the poor performance made the game unplayable. I don't know about that, but we know about the Steam numbers. It certainly isn't the case that only glitchy, bug-ridden games fail. He points out Rocket Arena. But Avengers is broken and still is. In the Avengers case, the combination of excessive bugs and lack of meaningful replayable content, not only the roadmap has been extended, like it did with Anthem, the new characters and missions previously promised to arrive weeks after launch are being delayed until the end of the year. Yeah, that's bad. And the content that is here gets real old real fast. We don't have strong replayable multiplayer missions to grind gear. The rarest loot is only accessible in single player. That's not a complaint for me, actually. Avengers is a half-baked game. The first step, of course, the first step is the cause. The second step is the effect. The game has no players. Some games fail to ever find players in the first place. I don't look for them, so I don't do this. The player base tanked fast, and nothing has brought it back. And then he's saying, well, you know, No Man's Sky brought it around, but Anthem certainly never did. Will Kate Bishop bring all the boys back to the art? And then the third step of a dying game, the step we're currently on, is desperation. The apology bundles, the several weeks that you could claim the big crafting bundle that they were giving you that just ended yesterday, a week or so post-launch, players got the bundle of the crafting materials the first time, and then there was the appreciation reward. That's the one I'm talking about. And then the discount on the marketplace, and now they've extended the discount on skins and nameplates. No, excuse me. Nameplates and emotes are going to be permanently 50% off. I mean, on my stream today, we talked about these emotes. Nobody is really going to fucking care about those things. The only time you see them is when you're waiting in an elevator, and they're not tied to an action. If they were tied to a ping, like, stay here, go over there, target that, and it, like, there was an emote tied to it, it'd be a little bit better if you could give those pings to AI teammates. When you're doing one of those missions where you have to get, like, the 3 terminals, but then a robot comes in and tries to start flipping the terminal back, if you could tell your AI Hulk, like, stay here, that'd be pretty cool. But no. The skins need to stay discounted. In reality. That's the things people care about. And that's the things people are going to want to use to get away from the awful budget Avengers. That mask's terrible. The budget Avengers look, the Chinese Avengers look, the porn Avengers look, the you idiot, you captured their stunt doubles look. He's saying that's not the behavior of a game that's thriving. Eventually, it's going to go free-to-play, which is what he thinks. Now, the thing is, it has free-to-play elements in it with the sort of season pass for the characters. What is my opinion on things that'll bring all the boys back to the yard over here? You gotta fix the bugs. You've got to get to a 96.5, 97% workable game. Because you, the game, Crystal Dynamics Square, you are pissing off the type of gamer that is me. I'm not saying they're pissing off Napalm Don. I'm not some highfalutin hullabaloo that means anything. But I'm the type of person that this game is perfect for. I'm the kind of person who isn't necessarily going for a drop on a mission, so I'm not disappointed in the loot. I'm on board with the combat, and I'm on board with the kind of rote play the mission, do the thing, play the mission, do the thing, play the mission, do the thing. I'm used to that. I'm a World of Warcraft player since 2004. Relatively early on in our history, we got these things called dailies. They rotate, but we're used to the same things. We're used to farming ogres for beads, for rep, or in vanilla, Thorium Brotherhood, Timber Mob rep. Nowadays, we're used to doing reps for factions, and now we'll be doing stuff for covenants. You log in, you go up to a person, you collect some quests, you go out there, you do them, you turn them in, your rep goes up, the shield rep, the inhuman rep. I'm used to that. I'm used to the main alt thing where I have a main Druidicus, my Fat Guardian Bear, that every expansion, every major content thing goes through it, does the dungeons, does the raids with the guild, does the raids by himself in LFR, gets all the LFR gear he needs, never goes back. Gets all the reps to Exalted, never does a daily again. Has a daily that I like, has a daily that I hate. Has a, ooh, that's kind of new, I never saw that before. I'm used to doing the repetitive stuff because the game gives it to me and it has value. And when it doesn't have value anymore, I move on to maybe an alt, my Paladin, my Discipline Priest, my Hunter, my Death Knight. A little bit of a different look. My Fat Guardian takes a lot of damage and eventually gets to a point where he's literally invincible for the content that he fights. So maybe I go to a damage dealer instead, or maybe I go to a healer. Kamala Khan, melee, not really good in range, not really that great in traversal, so maybe I go to Iron Man to fly and do range stuff, or Thor, which is a little bit of a mix. That's fine for this game. That's the player that this game needs somebody who accepts this game for what it's giving them, likes the combat, is okay with the just repetitive shit about it, and logs in and plays it. But what the problem that is happening is there are quality of life things and there are bugs that make me put the controller down and my session is over before I want it to be over. For example, my Xbox One is still 10 hours later trying to load up Captain's skin from a player change terminal in the helicarrier because I wanted to change his outfit. It's not loading the skin for some reason. It's going fist, face, lightning bolt, hammer, hourglass, face, fist, lightning bolt, out. It's just spinning that icon, and in 10 hours it hasn't loaded the skin. And when I gave it 5 minutes and it hadn't done it, I just told the Xbox to go to the TV app and I fucking watched TV. And had dinner. Leftover pizza dinner with the girlfriend. That play session ended because of that. Now that's a minor bug, but I still was done with the game. My Thor crashes the game semi-frequently. I've had the door close in Hive and lock enemies out, and then I kill the ones I could see, still can't progress through the level. I've had enemies get stuck in the shipping containers of Hives and have to beat on them there and hope that I kill them to progress. I've had the Inhuman missions where you rescue the Inhumans, but I go up to a garage that the door doesn't open up because the mobs aren't fucking spawning. Then I'm supposed to kill all the mobs out in front of the garage that opens up and lets me get the gear. That stuff is maddening. And it ends play sessions. I mean, not the garage thing, and I could have recovered from the helicarrier skin thing if I closed the gate, but it ruins the immersion. It's the skin thing is like going to a theater for a movie you really want to watch and getting kicked in the back by an 8-year-old piece of shit who's just constantly kicking your chair. You could sit there and plow through it because you really want to see this movie, or you could get up, take your soda, wing it in the kid's face, and leave before the parent gets pissed at you. The game crashing bugs, that's like going to the theater and the projector comes flying out of the projection booth and lands 3 seats over you, next to you, and is on fire. Well, the game does both of those things. And then there's the quality of life things. If I'm on Kamala, or say I'm on Thor who I'm working on, he's at 45, I'm trying to push him to 50, get the gear up there to be around Kamala's 130, 140. If Thor goes up to that robot, that half a robot on the helicarrier, and he dips down, he's like, "Greetings, Avenger." And I open his inventory, and I look at something for Cap that I think is an upgrade. But when I do the comparison, it gives me the comparison to Thor. Fuck you. Are you... How is this still a thing this late into the game? Make the comparison to what Thor has equipped. I mean, make the comparison to Cap. Even if I'm on Thor, it's not that hard. You're only going to have one Cap. If this is a Cap helmet that I'm looking at, don't compare it to Thor's helmet. Compare it to fucking Captain America's helmet. Why is the code not in the game doing that? If I have to risk my game not working by going to the stripper pole to change my character out and walk back to the vendor to find out if it maybe is or maybe isn't an upgrade, that's ridiculous. Just give me the comparison. Now you may say, wait a minute, Napalm, you said you played World of Warcraft. If your druid went up to the auction house in World of Warcraft and looked at a cloth helmet for your discipline priest, you're not going to be able to do that comparison. Well, A, there are add-ons that do, and B, I know the game has that limitation, and I would prep for it. The game doesn't necessarily know that that cloth helmet, you intend to compare it to your disciplined priest. Maybe it's your mage, maybe it's your warlock. They use cloth, it doesn't know, but this game does. If Hulk, in this picture, walked up to a vendor and looked at a piece of Captain America gear, well, you only have one goddamn Captain America. Compare the fucking gear. It's just... That's ridiculous. Fix the bugs. Give us a bit more quality of life. Like, running in the bases and everything is great. Yes, do that. But here's another thing. When you hit the ping, when you have the show me my objectives and everything, have you noticed that sometimes not some things don't appear when you do that? You're looking down at the ground and you're trying to find that golden wire to one of its trigger points, but that time that you hit down, it didn't show, so you got to wait for it to expire and hit it again, and then that time it showed. That's some of the issues. Like, first of all, make things appear longer on the screen. Whatever amount of seconds it is now, add 5 seconds to it. Second, show all the things at all the times. Why some of the times I can't trace the wiring to a trigger properly, I don't understand. And if it's like spiraling out of a specific hub and it shows all the wires in the hub, if I walk 3 feet away to go around a corner to follow one of the leads and I look down and I hit it again, continue showing it to me. Don't give up because I'm around the corner from the hub. And, another thing they could do to bring people back, it's not just going to be a Kate or a Hawkeye or Spider-Man. You got to come up with, like, new maps and everything like that. Like, Tachyon Rifts as a mode is cool. The Hives and Mega Hives, good. Glad they're in the game, but for the people who can't stand the monotony, unlike me, give them new things. Maybe make these levels like roguelite-ish, where you have chunks in the map that can fit together, but you move that around like the old horror movie The Cube. Give some logical connectors, but make the map different, not just where things are. And it really needs to do that too. But like put the map together in different chunks, like one of those Eastern Seaboard ones. Like sometimes you go to the bridge and it has the electric gate down, so you go up, but sometimes, like, not like that. That's not good enough, but maybe sometimes you go over there and the bridge isn't there and you don't connect to that section because it's not important. So maybe instead of like the north, it's over on the east and you got to go find it. Or maybe it's not a big bridge, it's two smaller ones. Just like add some diversity to it, some changeability to it. Maybe add some modes that allow players to fight other players, like a 4-on-4 capture the flag. I think a perfect map for that would be that forest that's on fire, and make a great capture the flag map for these guys. You'd probably bet everybody would run a Kamala Khan because of her healing and she can res on the heals. Or like a deathmatch mode with limited respawns where each team has 10 respawns, and you like deathmatch, and it's some player versus player. Or maybe like a speed trial where Iron Man and Thor, being flyers, you fly to points in a map and try to beat times, or do something that's like really crazy and unexpected. A hero release, great. We know a lot of them. We're going to see them coming. But you're going to be burnt out if let's say Kate drops in December 2020. She drops, you get her, and she's all the way back at level 1. Are you going to want to slog through that leveling up process for her when you're so pissed off at the game and it's so buggy? Another thing I think they should do is, okay, say this group over here, I'm mating Iron Man, and these are my 3 AI people, Black Widow, Thor, and Hulk. Give Hulk and Thor and Black Widow experience. Even though I'm on Iron Man, these are my characters. These are my AI. Yeah, I'm playing Iron Man, but give Thor experience, give Hulk experience, give Black Widow. If these guys have a particular challenge, or objective that they're on. Like I'm playing Iron Man, but my Hulk has for his challenge card, kill 5 Adaptoids. Let's say I ran into 10 Adaptoids this mission. Give him 5 as a credit. He was part of the team. He was there. If it was multiplayer and this was my friend Jimmy playing Hulk, my Iron Man would get 5 Adaptoids. The Hulk would get 5 Adaptoids. Like, there's just limits on this game that I think are ridiculous. Share experience. Share progress for things. I mean, yeah, if the AI... Hulk. He has to use 5 heroics. And he gets a challenge point or something. And he used 5 heroics by the AI. The AI uses them. Give it to him. Don't make me play Hulk after playing Iron Man and do 5 heroics for the challenge card. He did it. Give it to him. Even if it was half experience, like something. Because are you really going to want to drag Kate out from 0 to 50? Strictly by herself. Doing all the old shit. Again and again and again. And the villains, man. Give us villains like Taskmaster, Abomination, a flying ship, or a land ship. That's not villains anymore. The reasoning of Monica Frappuccini Rappuccino doing 21 Taskmasters and now you're on your 22nd because she's got a cloning vat somewhere that for some reason we can't figure out how to shut down. Stop. Like, give us some variety. Like, bring MODOK back for something. A new mech that we don't see in the missions. Yes, that big helicarrier type ship you don't really face in the missions exactly, and it's rare when that thing shows up, but like, just do something a little bit different with those villains. Like, I cannot believe it shipped with 2 repetitive villains in Abomination and Taskmaster. That's just ridiculous. God, it's the MCU, it's Avengers, it's Marvel. You've got so much you could tap into. I mean, Loki. Like that plot, the 2 Thor missions over there. You go through those, maybe you could find out Loki was impersonating Thor and you face Loki as a villain. Like, why are they not taking advantage of that? Anyway, what do you guys think? What will keep this game going? What do you think about the store comparison that I have an issue with? Like, does that grind your gears like it does me? What about leveling? Do you agree that if you're bringing an all AI party out there, that they should share some challenges and experience? I mean, I get it if you don't want to share loot, but what about ISOs and artifacts? If Iron Man has that artifact equip that says, if I push the both thumbsticks in, I get the attack buff and everything, and Iron Man levels it up 2 notches, and then Thor goes to equip it, give him the levels. I mean, my girlfriend and I don't share a car, but if we did, and I went out and I put gas in the car and I ran it through the car wax while I was there, and she drove the car later on, she'd get a gassed up, waxed up car. Not a fucking hoopty piece of shit. Like, it's just so ridiculous, some of the mechanics they have in this game. Do those things, and yeah, I think a lot of people will come back, and God, fix your matchmaking. I mean, I know there's nobody left to matchmake, but if you get people back, fix the matchmaking. Fix these bugs that make people want to stop playing. Anyway, guys, that's what I'm thinking about for this game. What are you thinking about? What'll get people back in the seats for this? Napalm Dawn out.